This is a very important step for me. It's going to help me lose a lot more weight. I'm just looking forward to the new Destinee at the end of all this.
When it comes to the weight loss program, you never know what to expect. Paints either make some amazing transformations or their journey turns out to be a big flop. These are some of the moments patients made some miraculous transformations. This is Destinee's story, and it's going to make your jaws drop from your mouth. Trust me. Destinee is a transgender female who weighs over 600 pounds. Her life is a nightmare that she has to live through every single day. She feels like someday her body is going to make her completely useless. Well, here is how her weight loss journey begins.
My mobility is really limited. I can only do steps and I'm out of breath. So being as big as I am is making it impossible to have enough. Simplest things are impossible for me now.
Imagine being so fat that you could get stuck in the bathtub while having your bath. That is insane. Sadly, that's the life Destinee lives. She even says that the most she can do is take 5 steps before she starts to run out of breath. I definitely do not want to be in her shoes.
To give me peace of mind, knowing I have help if something does happen. Nuna, can you bring me a towel, please?
It's on your bed, I'll bring it to you.
I need one on my bed.
My sister is 27 years old. She has her own. She's completely stable to stay by herself. So I come every day to help her out because
even her sister knows that she can't leave Destinee to stay all by herself. At least Destinee has someone who's there to look out for her and assist her with basic things. It would have been hell if she was all by herself. I wonder how she got this fat.
Food is the only happiness I have in my life. It's my escape. It tastes good in my mouth. All I care about is, and my life doesn't seem that bad in that moment. All I want to do is eat all day and every day, and love and happiness to go away. And at this point, for sure, I can't stop all of this from getting even worse.
That way of life is going to get you killed, Destinee. You can't want to eat all day every day for the rest of your life. I mean, does she know she's hanging on by a thread? 1 or 2 more years of this lifestyle and things could turn out for the worst. Jeez.
And my mom was forced to give up custody of us, but she struck a deal that allowed her to still be a part of our and stay in touch. But it was really hard on all of us. It hurted me a lot to not be with her. From birth, the family not liking you, and then having to be put in foster care, and then she was going on growing up. You know, I just always...
That's rough, honestly. Growing up in that state must have been really tough on Destinee and her brothers. Her dad left her, and her mom and she and her brothers ended up in foster care. Most times, you can't blame these guys when they rely on food as their coping mechanism. It gets really rough sometimes.
But a couple years after I was put in foster care, she had to go to jail for a couple years.
Eventually, I started getting in trouble from shoplifting. I had to do time. I did 3.
Everything felt so much lonelier. Aside from my brothers, I felt like I had no one, so I needed the escape of food even more.
That would most certainly break her heart. Imagine not being able to talk to your mom every day. As if that's not enough, she gets separated from her brothers, the only family she had left. Heartbreaking, if you ask me.
So I just kept eating and gaining even fat. And by the time I was 15, over 350 pounds. Being that size as a teenager didn't really help, and to make it all even harder, around this time that I was gay, probably the hardest time in my life.
It seems like opening up about being gay was not in her favor at all. The moment she did, everyone abandoned her, and she felt more alone than she ever had. One can only imagine the trauma that built up in her head because the people she thought cared about her did the exact opposite.
Me and Anthony had gotten close as brothers while I lived with my mom, lived out on our own together. So I needed to pay my fair share of the rent and got different jobs at a few places, but they wouldn't let me work under my new name. Still, wasn't able to live the true person. But when I was 25, things got worse. I was over 500 pounds. Anthony had to get surgery.
Damn, it's like the trauma just doesn't end in Destinee's life. It's from one heartbreaking thing to the next. After going through all of this, she ends up losing her brother? Ouch, that's a straight bullet to her heart.
But it's still gonna be a lot for me, so I'm really nervous. And a lot of things are going through my head. I'm nervous if Dr. Now doesn't take me as a patient. I want to think about the doubt and him not taking me. It kind of makes me sad. Hey, honey.
hey,
You help me fold some and put them in there? It was the last chance to get the help I had to have to save my life and avoid it.
A very bold step, I must say. She knows deep down that if she keeps eating the way she does, she might not like her life in the next couple of months. Good one, Destinee. That doesn't erase the fact that she's scared that Dr. Now might not accept her for surgery.
But whatever happens and however much I weigh, I just hope I get the help I need today. And the only thing that really has me scared,
Destinee Chay?
that happens, it's going to be like I'm being told, and there's nothing I can do to change. And I'm not ready for that. I'm a little shocked.
You guys can go ahead and go to room 5.
She could not have said it any better. Yes, she's a little over 600 pounds, but that's still a very high number. I'm pretty sure Dr. Now is going to tell her the exact same thing. But the big question now is, can she really get rid of all of this weight?
What is the problem that you want to address? That gave me the impression you're very into.
Well, I do, but I have a lot of, I've been through a lot, and I think I have a lot of emotional eating problems.
Such as what?
Well, just struggling and just not being able to find a good job. So my brother is where I really picked up a lot of weight.
You just have to love Dr. Now when he speaks facts. She might have been through so much, but eating to the level where she can't do anything by herself is just outrageous. She's lucky she can still get up from the bed if we're being fair.
Okay, we're gonna get you on a 1200, which is gonna be 100 calorie per meal, no carb diet.
Yes, sir.
Start on that immediately. 80 pounds in the next 2 months. Okay, go and then we're gonna work toward it. Okay, you do this program, then I'll approve you for.
Let's hope she's able to get all of that into her head. She tells the doctor that her major challenge is that she runs to food anytime she feels sad, depressed, or even stressed about anything. Well, all that's going to end is she really wants to lose weight.
And it's been hard to change all that, but I have been working at it. And I do feel like I'm making like they're fitting a little better. And I'm looking smaller. So I feel good about that. As long as I don't lose my breast. Mostly making a lot of salad. It's low calories, so I can have.
For someone who likes to eat a lot of junk, Destinee is surprisingly doing really well with her eating. Since her visit with Dr. Now, she's been eating more proteins and vegetables. Impressive, but is this going to be enough to cut down her weight?
And I'm just hoping that all that work is reflected in the scale gifts. Last appointment 2 months ago, my weight was 80 pounds by today's appointment. So that means I need to be below 5. I'm disappointed it's not but it's still weight loss and progress.
I guess we spoke a little too soon. She dropped some weight, but is still miles away from reaching her weight loss goal for surgery. One thing I know is that Dr. Now is not going to be happy when he sees that weight.
So if you want to move forward, is show me the progress you need to make. Destinee, I'm going to give you 1 ounce over the next 2 months, okay?
Okay.
You do that, I'll approve you for weight loss surgery. But if you don't, then I'll know you still don't have any interest and that we are wasting our time. And there'll be no point in moving. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And that's the doc standing on business. He's giving her one more chance to meet up with her weight loss goal so he can approve her for surgery. If she fails to meet it this time, trust me, she is on her own.
Whenever you're ready, you can go right on in and have a seat wherever you're.
Okay.
A little bit about yourself growing up.
Oh, Lord. Disaster. My mom, she gave me and my 2 brothers up because she
Okay.
was young and we had to be raised in a foster care home.
I guess she's taking it a step at a time now. Sadly, she failed to meet her goal a second time, and Dr. Now referred her to see a therapist who would help her to feel like herself again. Seems to be working so far.
Just gonna do a little follow along. And this time we're gonna go up and we're gonna go forward. So point your toes forward and roll on up, okay?
I'm feeling really good. Like a confident and sexy woman. Keep coming to this.
Now that is mind-blowing. Who knew she could carry her body like that? Looks like her appointment with the therapist paid off pretty well. She feels good in her body. Let's hope she can meet her weight goal this time around.
I get weight loss surgery today. If I don't, I'm eating myself to death. So that means I have to be down. I've lost so far combined, but it's still not my goal.
Not her target, but it's pretty impressive. She did clutch down on her weight, if we're being honest. Coming down from 600 pounds down to this is not an easy goal. But is Dr. Now going to be impressed?
But if you don't lose weight, surgery, we're going to cancel it, okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
It's going to be also very important you keep going because you have a lot of emotional issues that are going to be to continue working on to be. Are you going to do that?
Yes, sir, I will.
To be fair, he doesn't seem to be mad at all. She did make some pretty decent progress. He still wants her to lose some weight before her surgery, but he is confident that she's going to make the cut.
All right, come on over.
Okay.
Here, for girl. How you doing?
I'm fabulous. This is going to help create a new me, and I can't wait.
Gastric sleeve procedure on Destinee. Up to this point, it's been a big struggle for her to do surgery will help her a great deal.
This is Chay's story. Chay happens to be so fat that he feels like if he adds any more weight to his body, that could be the end of the line for him. Chay is a 23-year-old guy who weighs about 597 pounds. He struggles every day to do the most basic of things and hates himself for becoming so fat. He is constantly in so much pain that even his breathing hurts. Will he win his battle against his fatness? I guess we'll see. Here is how his journey begins.
I hate I'm so miserable. I hurt all. I'm in so much pain. My chest is tight. Can't hardly breathe. Activities are becoming more and more work.
I would honestly lose my mind if I had this much difficulty having my bath. Sadly, Chay beats himself up every day, wondering why he allowed himself to become this fat. It was very shocking seeing him stand up from that chair for real.
I'm 23 and hardly take care of and that scares me. To take care of my grandmother. It depends on me, and I need to be there for her. So you feel like breakfast? Kinda hungry.
He did not just say his grandmother depends on him. How can she depend on him when he looks like a ball and can't even pick himself up from the couch? Wow, at least he knows that if he wants to be useful to her, he has to do better with himself.
He's getting to the point where
I'm hungry. I don't know why. I've always loved food. Food has always been there for me.
Of course he is hungry. That's the same behavior that got him to be this size in the first place. What's devastating about Chay's situation is the fact that he is just 23 years of age. Even his grandmother says that she knows he's getting to a point where he can't do anything anymore.
I've always loved food. I had a very dark childhood. They would get drunk and they would take formulas because the condom broke. That made me feel like I was absolutely worthless, like I should have never been born.
Ouch. That has got to be the most heartbreaking thing you could ever say to a child. I would hate myself if my mom ever said something like that to me. Chay says that whenever his parents were angry at each other, they would always take it out on him. That must have been a tough childhood.
When I was 15 years old, my mother was arrested.
I told him, just come stay with me. We were just gonna forget. If I could do it over, I would have took him when he was born. My job and raised him, and
with his mom going a lot, wanted to do. He was able to eat what he wanted. And when he moved in with she, or just let him have.
That's honestly very sad. Chay says that his mom was arrested while he was young and he had to move in with his grandparents. Sadly, they never checked anything he was eating. Whatever he wanted, he always got to eat. Looks like the end result of all that eating is him weighing over 600 pounds.
I'll be so big that I can't go.
At your left?
Yeah, okay, I'm gone. I hardly go out as it is. I can just barely fit. I just hate going out. Going out in public makes me having to have social interactions or know what they're gonna say.
I'm honestly surprised he can drive. Weighing over 600 pounds and looking like a giant ball, it's very surprising that he is able to fit into the car. It makes perfect sense when he says he hates going out. No one would be able to take their eyes off him looking like that.
It's very difficult. You don't go to casinos. If you're addicted to cigarettes, you don't have to smoke. With food, it's different. Faced with your vice, it's so hard to stop. I've coped with things all my life.
I mean, it's a weird way to look at it, but he isn't wrong. Food addiction is way different from every other type of addiction because food is already a necessity. So stopping it would mean you'd have to stop eating. I honestly doubt Chay would be able to lose any weight.
Houston is 4 hours away. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. I'm too big to drive it would just be too painful. And uncle and see if they could take me, but they aren't able to. I was surprised my mom said, I usually can't rely on her at all. I'm not sure how this is gonna go.
Don't worry, Chay. Dr. Now is not going to chase you away. The only way that would happen is if he proves that he can't lose some weight, and that's just going to be very devastating. He finally builds the courage to lose some weight. Good for him.
And I'm scared I won't be able to do it.
Killing me, Chay.
This should be interesting. I knew I was close to 600. What was that close?
He can't be serious. With all that eating, he's lucky he isn't over 600 pounds. Even I thought he weighed more than 600 pounds given the fact that he couldn't fit properly into the car. Surprising. Let's see what the doc has to say about his situation.
So what do you need to snack between dinner? Try to change your eating habit.
I have in the past, yes, I've tried off and on. It's when, you just kind of give up.
So fast will be the only solution for you to control your potato chips after surgery. You're not going to lose weight either.
Dr. Now is not beating around the bush with Chay at all. He tells him to his face that he sees the surgery as a quick fix. Newsflash, that's not how it's done. If you want to lose weight, you have to put in the work and cut down on his irresponsible eating habits.
Hopefully, when I see him next time, he will have lost weight, will not get weight loss surgery.
I know I'm gonna have to change a lot of things in order for this to be successful. I don't do this now. I don't convince him and get him to believe in me.
Thank goodness he knows that. If he doesn't lose all that weight, his health could go down the drain. Dr. Now wants him to lose 49 pounds in 2 months, which honestly seems like an impossible task for Chay. Will he be able to do it?
Moving my body of 600, it's a lot excruciating to go far.
Come on, pick up the pace just a little bit.
I'm willing to push through and do no riding on me being successful.
Back inside.
I need to do this.
Chay seems pretty determined to lose 40 pounds in 2 months. As he begins his exercise with his cousin, he starts to realize that the journey is not a walk in the park. For someone who loves to eat all the time, this is definitely a nightmare.
I'm really devastated. My grandma suffered a heart attack. There was nothing anybody could do. I just believe she's gone. I feel real right now.
That has to be devastating. I wouldn't want to be in Chay's shoes right now. His biggest supporter and the only person who played the mother role in his life passes away. I hope this doesn't make him fall back to eating uncontrollably.
God bless you. This will conclude our service.
I'm just so lost right now. Food is my comfort. I want to eat.
I think Shay's gonna follow. Mama was like Shay's mama. Told me he couldn't even speak,
And just like that, he goes back to the only way he knows how to comfort himself, food. I definitely saw that coming. One thing is for sure, Dr. Now is not going to be happy about the situation. But then again, it's really not Chay's fault.
Achieve so many things. I wanted her to be there with. Now all I have left is memories. Food is the only thing, so I'm not about to give that up. No one believed in me.
Someone please tell him that this is not going to end in a good way. Yes, it's obvious he is going through a bad time, but he is also putting his health at stake. It's been 4 months now, and Chay has not seen Dr. Now.
I've hardly lost. I can't believe that. I had done so much better.
Hello.
Hi there.
So much better? Is he trying to be funny? It's as if he was not even trying to lose any weight. I'm even surprised he didn't weigh more than what the scale showed. All he's been doing is eating. Him thinking he has been losing weight is just ridiculous, and I'm sure Dr. Now is going to tell him that.
He's using stress and emotion as an excuse to eat. Everyone has these things, and you have to learn to deal with them. And I want you to lose at least 30 pounds. A therapist to help you with this, okay? All right, later.
Thank you.
Chay is so unbelievable right now. He is mad at the fact that the doc told him he was making excuses to eat and was not focusing on the fact that his health is at stake. He even goes on to say that he is done and is not coming back. Imagine that.
And step up here. How are you feeling at this point?
Good.
Good. All right, we're gonna head on exhale. You're doing great.
Watching Chay got me emotional, and I can envision in the future Chay.
There you go, perfect. We're gonna do 15.
Changing him mentally already.
I'm impressed by what I see. Looks like he didn't mean any of what he said. He's putting in the work, and he is trying to make sure he meets the right weight for him to proceed to surgery. I'm sure his grandmother is going to be proud.
Believe how much I've lost. Proud of myself.
Hello.
Hi there.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
With your weight loss, like you ready for surgery.
Isn't that just beautiful to hear? After everything he went through, he put in the work and is now ready for his weight loss surgery. Everyone is proud of him. Good job, Chay.
Now he'll be able to eat much less and continue. All right, that looks good. Room light on. Chay's surgery went very well. He in the recovery room for a bit. Progress from there.
This is Megan's story. Megan doesn't find it too difficult to get up from her bed, but every time she wakes up, she feels like it's going to be her last day on Earth. She's grown so fat that she thinks her body is finally ready to give up on her. Will she make it through her weight loss journey? Well, here is how her story begins.
The first thing I think of when I get up in the morning is if today's gonna be the day that I lose my battle, because my body finally gives out from my weight.
Trying to imagine the pain she feels every morning when she wakes up is almost impossible. Megan had to move in with her mom just so someone could help her do the basic things she should be able to do on her own. That's sad for real.
I love to eat. After I get dressed, it's the first thing I want to do every single day. My mom makes me breakfast and I can't wait for it. It's one of the few things I get up for because it makes the pain go away.
Megan can't do anything like she used to be able to.
Let's just say her major problem is her mom. Megan's mom knows that her eating habit is bad, but she just doesn't want her daughter to feel bad. Sadly, the only thing that gives Megan some form of happiness is the same thing that's killing her: food.
On days when I feel up to it, I go to the grocery store with my mom. And it's really the only thing I ever go out for anymore. And it's like Christmas Day for me. Being around all that food and all those options.
She can drive herself? That's surprising. For a second there, I wasn't sure she would fit into the car. She says that the only reason she goes out is to pick up some groceries and get some food. Wow.
Ooh, chocolate marshmallow ones, Mom. It's the best place in the world to me. And I wish I could get everything I have a craving for. But we can't afford that, so I have to be selective.
When I tell her she shouldn't eat the sweets.
How do you eat so much and still have the craving to eat sweet things? Does she know that it's unhealthy? Working around is already like the hardest thing for her to do. The least she can do is at least cut down on the sweet things she eats. Geez, it almost feels like she doesn't want to be better.
Emily and Ashley was mean to Megan, a different father than them, and they didn't want Megan to be in the picture. They didn't like that.
It just got worse between me and my sisters as I got older. Spending time with my dad and being with him.
What did she just say? She was already weighing 250 pounds at the age of 10? Yo, I wasn't even weighing 100 pounds at that age. Why do parents always allow their kids to eat so much, knowing it can become very addictive? It makes no sense for real.
And I hated school. I never wanted to go because of that. It was like there was nowhere safe I could go. It got to be where I couldn't take it. So I just wanted to leave to be with my dad, come live with him. And he said I could. So I moved out of my mom's house and into his. To my mom at that time.
Already 600 pounds? Wow, looks like the mom wasn't particularly the problem. Megan felt the comfort of her dad because he always allowed her to eat whatever she wanted. The moment her mom put some restrictions on her eating, she went straight to her dad. Now look how that turned out for her.
So I was getting to a really bad place and I just kept going on that road and eventually... And I called my mom and asked her if I could move back with her. And she said I could. And I'm still not on talking terms with my sisters.
She did not just say that. 9 medications a day is crazy. How can someone be on 9 medications a day due to excessive food intake and still eat like she's going to lose her life if she doesn't eat? Unbelievable. In Megan's world, food is everything.
It just is a struggle with me getting in and out of the car because it wears me out really easily.
Looking good.
It's just about taking everything from me. Completely take my health.
Girl, the only miracle that's going to happen is if you get yourself to the gym or you stop eating like you steal the food. Hearing this, one would honestly think she has already given up and is ready for whatever might happen.
But we don't know how long it'll take us or how I'll handle the drive because I've never really done a drive like this. And at my current weight, I'm just not sure how, but I'm more scared about the physical.
She is right about that though. She's scared about the trip she's about to make heading to Dr. Now's hospital. But if we're being honest, the stress from the trip is way better than not doing anything at all.
Can't help, it will be like a death sentence. I know he wants to help people who are my size. There could be, or reasons he can't help me. So it's just my biggest fear. In 4 minutes.
That's not too.
And there she goes again, wanting to eat. Doesn't she get tired of food constantly going down her throat? Well, to be over 600 pounds, I don't think she sees it as a problem. Let's hope she makes her trip to see the doctor.
Megan? My mom will be able to do is go back home and just... So I'm nervous about that and about how all this is gonna go because I really need help and I'm hoping I get it today.
Wow, with all that eating, she's just a little over 600 pounds? I'm actually impressed. But one thing I know for certain is that cutting down that weight is going to be difficult for Megan. She loves food so much that it's impossible to see her losing any of her weight. Let's hear what the doctor has to say.
Because it can be very hard for me and the other person.
Oh, I plan on eating with her like she needs to eat.
Needs to do this now. So Megan is praying because you're running out of time.
Yeah.
Okay? So no snacking. And no sugary drink, and no chips. You gotta eat healthy.
Okay.
Which means high proteins on salad, okay?
Okay.
We were all expecting to hear that. Doctor Now tells her that she needs to lose at least 80 pounds of weight in 2 months before he considers her for surgery. The big question now is whether Megan is up to the task. We all know she loves food.
And that I should be at my goal today. But I don't know what the scale's gonna show, and that's the only thing I'm nervous about. I definitely know I made progress. A couple months ago, I was at 604, and I was supposed to lose 80 pounds. Okay.
You did fine.
And boom, she did not meet her target, but we've got to hand it to her. She managed to shed some of her weight, but just wasn't able to meet her target for surgery. She needs to apply more pressure if she really wants Dr. Now to consider her for surgery.
I still have it and I read it.
How much of did you?
Like partially through.
Yeah, very much carefully, right?
No, I probably should go back over it and read it. Yes.
She read partially? That's honestly disgusting to hear. I mean, Dr. Now gave her everything she needed to cut down on her weight, and she decides to pick the one she feels she should? It's really annoying because she knows better than to skip anything.
I know how important it is for me to lose as much weight and work as hard as I can to show Dr. Now I can. So far, this isn't as bad as I was dreading, but it's starting to get a little tougher the morning.
Yeah, take a break.
Now look at Megan go. She really wants to get rid of the excess weight so she can meet her target weight. She registered at a gym, and it's really good to see that she's doing everything she needs to do to be better. Good one, Megan.
And it's not going to make you swell to the point that become a fat. Neither you weight. You understand that?
Okay, yes.
So what else did you change?
I've also been walking a lot more. I take my dog on walks.
Okay, and it took you twice as long to do that this time.
That is just sad. Even with her going to the gym, she still hasn't met the cut for her weight loss journey. And what's even annoying is that it's her fault. She still eats the way she wants, and now she can't meet her goal. It's annoying if we're being honest.
And I don't think one meal is gonna throw up. The pizza's here.
Okay, go get it. I'm hungry.
Okay. Awesome, thank you. It's really hard for me with this move. Don't go to Houston and get help, then I'll be...
And just like that, she's back with the same person who allows her to eat the way she wants. It honestly feels like she wants to give up on her weight loss journey. Her goal is to reduce the way she eats, but instead of that, she's eating like she's going to die if she doesn't. Jeez.
My concern is, let's see, you are on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12 medication. You are only, what, 25?
Yes.
And some of these medication that you are typically people in the leg and in the lung.
Even Dr. Now can't hide the fact that her conditions are too much for her not to be losing any weight. He even says that Megan's health conditions usually occur in people over 50 years of age. Guess what? She's just 24. That's just sad, honestly.
And I just really wish I had more support. Instead of helping me, a lot harder than it needs to be for me. That stuff should never be around me. But she doesn't seem to get that. And I'm not gonna let myself. I refuse to.
Aha. So the problem isn't Megan. The problem is her mom. And it is disgusting to see what she's doing. Knowing that her daughter is on a weight loss journey, she keeps eating junk food and keeping it in places where Megan will see it. It's almost as if she doesn't want her to lose any weight. Ew.
Well, I'm proud of you for losing another 30 pounds.
Thank you. I've been eating a lot of vegetables.
Well, that's good. But looking at your ultrasound, problem with your bile duct and your gallbladder. And that's just a start, because you still need to run more tests. Your gallbladder very distended and you got stone in it. Like you may have some blockage in your...
That has to be a big blow to the chest for Megan. The doctor gets her to run a few tests, and sadly, she is not healthy enough to have surgery done. I don't even know what to say. This is just sad. Will Megan ever be able to lose weight?
All right, Megan, I'm proud of your progress. Just keep it up and we'll be able to do your weight loss surgery.
Yep, I've definitely been trying.